Off-roading is one of the easiest motorsport activities if you want to get into something exciting over the weekend. And although most people prefer a cheap sub 10 lakh rupee off-roader, like maybe an old Gypsy or a Jeep or a Thar of some kind, if you want to do it in a little more luxury, with something with a little more power and a little more ease, you can choose something like this. And as you can see with the angle we are at about 23 degrees, this Ford Endeavour is pretty capable. Now for most people, driving off-road means driving on a simple rutted trail like we are on right now. But we thought we'd do a little more extreme stuff today, something like this.
Even though we enjoy getting down and dirty, it is rare that you actually push the potential of some of these modern off-roaders to the limit. And then there is always the risk of getting stuck in the middle of nowhere, which is why it is great when you get to take something as capable and yet as luxurious as the Endeavour and explore what it can do in a controlled yet challenging environment. Ford had set up a course to demonstrate the Endeavour's off-road capabilities, and even though we initially thought it would be very easy, there were a few slightly challenging obstacles. These included some steep cross inclines, a slush pit that let you play a little by sliding the Endeavour around, and some deep rabbit holes that demonstrated how the suspension coped with whatever was being thrown at it.
Now there are a couple of rules you must remember when you're going off-roading. First of which, you do not need to go fast. Slow and steady is always more precise and always better when you're going off-road. Second, always wear your seatbelt before you start going off-road, because if you are at an angle like we are right now, your seatbelt might not actually actuate because the pretensioner comes into play. And thirdly, and this I talk from experience, never put your thumbs into the steering wheel like this, because if you do have a snap, your thumb will break right off. And again, I say this from experience, it is very, very painful.
Going off-road in the Endeavour with its 3.2-litre turbo diesel engine that makes 197 bhp and 470 Nm of torque is genuinely fun, as in most cases you can just put your foot down and power your way through obstacles. But even something as capable as this can get stuck. If you aren't precise, as some of the other participants found out. Thankfully, a quick winch and some handy wheelwork later, the car was free to power through yet a few more obstacles. More than the sheer power, it is the ease with which you can do this that is really noteworthy. Our favorite part of the course, with the exception of the water fording, was the steep 30-degree declines that allowed us to test features like hill descent control and the articulation test that showed us how the locking differential sent power out to the wheels that needed the traction the most.
A car like the Endeavour makes off-roading so easy. You've got the range management systems, diff locks, and of course an automatic gearbox. But if you ask me, if you really want to get into off-roading, I think you must still start right at the basics.